This is a story of Mama Mai and the course of Umuchineke River. In the heart of eastern Nigeria, the village of Nokwa stood like a jewel of the land. Hills surrounding it and rivers snaked their way through the fertile lands that blessed the people with abundant harvest. But Nokwa had a secret that whispered through the rustling leaves and the rippling waters. One of these secrets was Mama Mai. She was a strong woman, a widow who carried burden heavier than anyone else in the village. Every morning, she rose before dawn, tied her wrapper tightly around her massive stomach, and went to the farm. On her head, she balanced basket overflowing with plantains, cassava, and yams, trudging to the market to sell her goods. But what set Mama Mai apart wasn't just her strength, it was the mystery of her stomach. It was unusually swollen, as though she was 9 months pregnant, yet no child came. The villagers speculated in hushed tone. Some said it was a punishment from the gods, others believed it was a witchcraft. Mama Mai endured the stares and whispers, carrying her pain in silence. One fateful morning, the rain came down heavily, the sky wept, and the earth drank deeply. Mama Mai, as always, wandered through the flooded Umuchineke River, her basket of plantains balanced on her head. But on this day, something was different. Her cries pierced the air, louder than the thunder rolling across the sky. The villagers rushed to the riverbank. Children clucked to their mothers, and men stood in silence, unsure of what to do. Mama Mai stood in the middle of the river, her feet buried in the muddy water, tears streaming down her face. "Why does she cry so?" one villager whispered. Elder Eze Udo, the oldest man in Nokwa, stepped forward. His white beard and walking stick gave him an air of authority. "Mama Mai," he called, his voice steady despite the rain. "Why do you wail in the river? Tell us your burden." At first, Mama Mai said nothing, but as the villagers gathered, she placed her basket on the ground and began to speak. 15 years ago, Mama Mai began, her voice trembling. "My husband Mai and I were newly married. The rain fell that day and the crops withered. The villagers faced starvation. My husband, desperate to save us, made a deal with the spirit of Umuchineke River." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Deals with spirits were taboo, and everyone knew they came at a heavy price. Mai promised the spirits our firstborn child in exchange for rain to save our crops. The rain came, the harvest was bountiful, and the village celebrated. But when the spirit came to collect his debts, my husband broke his promise. He hid me and told the spirit that no child would be given. Her voice broke as she continued. "The spirit cursed us. My first pregnancy ended in a stillbirth, and my belly has been swollen ever since, as a reminder of my husband's betrayal. My husband drowned mysteriously in this very river years later, but the spirit still haunts me. Every night, it whispers in my dream, demanding what it owed." The villagers were stunned. Whispers filled the air. "Oh my God, she is cursed. What can be done?" Ezudo raised his hand for silence. "Mama Mai," he said, "the spirit's anger is great, but perhaps it can be appeased. We must consult the oracle." The villagers hurried to the shrine of the oracle of Aro, a wise prophetess who communed with the gods. She listened to Mama Mai's story and shook her cowrie shells. The shells clattered on the floor, and the priestess' eyes widened. "The spirit demands the sacrifice," she said, "but not one of blood. It seeks something born of love and humility, a gift that will prove your remorse and willingness to make amends." Mama Mai nodded, her resolve strengthening. "Tell me what I must do." That night, under the light of a full moon, the villagers gathered at the riverbank. Mama Mai prepared her offering, a wooden basket filled with the finest fruit from her farm, ripe plantains, yams, and mangoes. At the center, she placed a small wooden carving of her late husband, made with her own hands. She poured her heart into the carving, hoping it would convey her remorse. The villagers sang prayer and lit torches, their voices carrying across the water with a trembling hands. Mama Mai stepped into the river. The water was cold, biting at her skin, but she waded on. As she reached the center of the river, the water began to shine. The villagers gasped as the figure rose from the depths. A towering spirit with glowing eyes and a body that shimmered like moonlight on water. It was the spirit of Umuchineke. "Why have you come?" the spirit boomed, its voice echoing like thunder. Mama Mai knelt in the water, holding up her basket. "I have come to seek your forgiveness," she said. "I'd offer you this gift, made with love and humility. Take it, and if my life is the price for your forgiveness, then take me as well. But spare my village and the generations to come." The spirit stared at her for what felt like an eternity. The villagers held their breath, fearing the worst. Then the spirit reached out and touched the basket. The fruits and the carving dissolved into the water, leaving ripples that glowed with an otherworldly light. "You have shown true remorse," the spirit said, his voice softer now. "Your sacrifice is accepted. The curse has been lifted." With a wave of his hand, the spirit disappeared, and the river returned to its calm state. Mama Mai collapsed in the water, her swollen stomach shrinking before the villagers' eyes. The next morning, Mama Mai woke up on the riverbank, surrounded by the villagers. She looked down at her belly. It was flat for the first time in 15 years. Tears of relief streamed down her face. The villagers rejoiced. They sang and danced, celebrating the end of the curse. Mama Mai became a symbol of resilience and redemption, a reminder that even the greatest mistake could be forgiven with love and humility. The tale of Mama Mai and the curse of Umuchineke River was passed down through generations in Nokwa village. It became a story told by elders around evening fires, a story of courage, sacrifice, and the power of seeking forgiveness. And to this day, the villagers of Nokwa honor the river spirit, leaving small offering of fruits and prayers at the riverbank, never forgetting the lessons of Mama Mai's tales. Thank you so much for watching. Do like, comment, and subscribe for more videos.